welcome to Steve's Vintage Model Builds. Back again after a very short turnaround here. There'll be another episode or part of the assembly of the Tamiya ambulance. 148. There it is. Yep. I'm doing a step-by-step build on that, mostly geared towards beginners. And excuse me. I also just released a video on, again, mostly for beginners and novices, in some things to consider when selecting the type of kit that you want, whether it's skill level or number of parts or complexity, whatever the case may be. So I'll put an end screen for that. And what else is going on? Got a review today. How about that? Peter Oxley recently did a review on the brand new, well, as of last year, the Porsche 911 GT3, which is an absolutely beautiful kit. And I thought at the time that it was going to be out of my budget, but I actually found it today at my local hobby store at a really good price, so I got it. But before that, I kind of not settled, but I was happy to find this, which was I think about $42 and change, free Prime shipping from Amazon. Came in one of their gray envelopes, and amazingly, it doesn't seem to have been damaged in any way, which is nice. They had a bad run there for a while with Tamiya. I don't know. I guess maybe they. Anyways, I guess maybe they were listening to people, because people were saying, guys like me, I don't care that much if the box is damaged or bashed up a bit, as long as what's inside is okay. But, a lot of people like to keep the boxes and like to have them in pristine shape. And unless you're ordering a used product, you should get a pristine box. So anyways, the ones I've been getting recently, they seem to have been fine. Sometimes they come in the cardboard box, sometimes they come in the plastic bags. So, but in any case, they seem to be doing a better job. Okay, and so we have this, and I believe this is probably aftermarket shrink wrap, but I don't know. They're older kits; they don't usually shrink wrap them. So we'll take a look at this. I'll get this off because the plastic tends to glare. That light okay? Looks all right. I'm getting better with that. So today we've got the Porsche 911 GT1 124 Sports Car Series 186. Static display model, complete engine bay, unlike the GT3, which doesn't have an engine. Authentic interior and chassis undersurface, solid synthetic rubber tires. Ready to assemble, detail scale model, blah 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 blah. Paint, cement not included. It sure is a busy paint scheme, ain't it? And then on the side here, we've got this. Why is there a shadow there? I don't know. Anyways, oh, that's the camera itself. Okay, so yeah, so we've got this side view here, and I mean, how can you not like that? I mean, this is like classic Porsche. And same on the side. Yeah. So there we go. All right. So good stuff. Now, I'm not really a car guy, and I don't really pretend to know a lot about cars, especially race cars. You know, I grew up in Canada where it was mostly NASCAR or IndyCar, and excuse me. There was one Grand Prix, the Canadian Grand Prix, and that was in Montreal, about 600 kilometers from where I lived. However, just up the road, we had Can-Am races at Mossport. So you know, this kind of thing was kind of more my style. So, anyways, yeah. So this was tooled in 1997 on a 1996 model, which correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was well, sorta. I have to back up a bit. When Porsche decided in the middle 90s to get back into international sports car racing, they wanted to return to the top level, and initially they tried to Evo or convert their 993 GT2 into a GT1 car, but it wasn't competitive, so they came up with this GT1. And despite using the 911 moniker, the car barely had anything in common with the existing 911 at the time, or 911 at the time. It only shared the front and rear headlamps with the production sports car. But its frontal chassis is based on the 993 generation 911, while the rear subframe was derived from the 962C Group C prototype. That's a mouthful. Which they also got the water-cooled, twin-turbocharged, and intercooled 4-valve per cylinder 3.2-liter flat-six engine. Another mouthful. Okay, so that's all very nice. Its first race was at the BPR Global GT Series, which was the FIA Championship's predecessor, at the Brands Hatch 4 Hours, where Hans Joachim, or Joachim, depending on where you come from, Stuck and Thierry Boutsen won comfortably. Although they were racing as an international entry and were thus ineligible for points. They followed up by winning at Spa, and continued with a victory at Zhuhai. I guess that's in China. The 96 911 GT1 clocked at a top speed of 330 kilometers per hour, 205 miles per hour, on the legendary Mulsanne Straight in practice sessions for the 1996 Le Mans 24-hour race. And I'm going to leave the rest up to Tamiya. So now I mentioned that this was tooled in 1997. There have been, and this is the original 1997 tooling kit. And the copyright on the Boxo is 2022. And made in the Philippines. I'm not sure the complete status now, but I know that Tamiya had been doing a fair bit of their production in Hong Kong, or maybe another part of China, and I believe that over the last few years they've been moving that out, and at least, and I think probably more, at least 50% of their production is now in Cebu, Philippines. And I expect by now that they've moved it over to 60-65%. And they're doing certain things at home especially I guess they're probably their premium kits. So while we were in the Philippines and Japan, I got to visit the mothership of Tamiya. But we didn't. We just, we didn't. They don't really do tours down at the Cebu factory, although they will accommodate people if they come there. But it's not really a thing, and it's a long way to go just to visit an industrial park. And while Cebu is beautiful, travel and yada yada yada. Anyways, so just don't fly Cebu Pacific to anywhere. Okay, so yeah, so there we go as far as that goes. So that's great that they're moving their production to more democratic countries, and no jokes about Filipino democracy. Okay, nobody's democracy is perfect. All right, so it's modeled after the United States, after all. Get the nice hologram here, Porsche official licensed product. That's very nice. I think they're doing that a lot now on their kits, which is great. So let's take a look here and see. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. There have been new parts. There were new parts in 1999. Which was basically a clear body shell. So basically, you built the car and you put the shell on, the fuselage, whatever it's called. I call it a shell, but anyways, put the shell on and you can see all the interior. You can see the engine, everything like that. And then in 2003, they released a kit with pre-decorated shell here, so you didn't have to deal with decals. I've watched a couple of videos on this about assembly and so forth, and thanks to Tamiya's what some people call thicker decals, they are your friend here. And they look like they went on very nicely. So, yeah, yeah. Some people don't like the Tamiya decals. I like them. I don't mind them. They don't rip. They don't tear unless you really abuse them. And if you use a little decal soft in certain areas, they just come out fine as far as I'm concerned. So the review that Peter Oxley did on the GT3, it was great. I mean, it's an exquisite kit, and excuse me. And but you know what, Peter? Haha, mine has a motor, and it also has decals for the tires. Yeah. Anyways, so let's take a look. We're going to empty things out here, and we'll take a look at what we've got. This is not a huge kit. As always, Tamiya packs everything so beautifully. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they have engineers who just work on packaging. Okay, as always, we get the Tamiya Tech Tips. I've got so many and read over them so many times, I just use them to line paint boxes. Good old black and white Tamiya instructions. Oh, and there's a note here about, if you're going to heat the sprue, use the one that's marked PS. Okay. there's a separate sheet here on masking and the decaling. And speaking of which, might as well take a look at these first. There is only one decal option, and as you can see from the box cover, there's plenty going on there. And of course, you're not obligated to do it up as it shows on the box. So, but these look, they look lovely. They're just beautiful, I think, anyways. Like I said, from the videos that I saw, they all look like they go on just perfectly where they're supposed to. Oh, there is one variation. You can choose number 25 or numbers to 26. Either way, it's the same decaling option. You've got different drivers' names. Wendlinger. Oh, Steve Goodyear from Canada. How interesting. And Y. Dalmas, who I don't know, who is blue, white, and red vertical stripes. Is that France? I don't know. Anyways, that's Steve. And then you've got all these the little sponsor things, Michelin, and where is it that I saw? I was sure I saw that they had the. Well, I don't see the decals. I thought I saw some there, but in any case, in one of the reviews, doesn't really matter. We'll see what's on the tires. And Tamiya is still on with the staples, or Hotchkiss fasteners as they call them. And the simple reason is that wire staples are cheaper than heat sealing. They've got this. I guess they've got the same wire staple machines as they've had forever. So, I mean, people sometimes get on to me about. Well, anyways, don't you bother my girl. Okay, so here we're going to start with the body.